Yeah, I think this is one of the most overlooked parts of when you're a podcast guest.
Mhm.
Most people kind of go on a podcast and then they just forget about it. They never talk with the host anymore. Just go on to the next one. It happens a lot of times, and that's a huge mistake because this is the time from the when you're booked until it's published is probably the most profitable time.
Hey there, peeps. This is Michelle Nedelak. Thank you for listening to the show. I would love if you could give us your opinion on how you felt about the show, your experience that you have in regards to what we've been talking about. I am having an absolute blast, but your input is like dynamite on that explosion. So give us your input. We'd love to hear from you. Any questions, comments, concerns? Give us everything you got. We love it. Thanks. I hope you're having an awesome day. Welcome to the Business Ownership Podcast, brought to you by Awareness Strategies, helping you navigate the waters between entrepreneurship and ownership. Hey there, peeps. This is Michelle Nedelak, and I'm super glad that you're here with us today because I'm here with my most amazing guest, Tiago. Tiago, thank you so much for being here with us today.
No, Michelle, it's a true honor. So excited to be here. Can't wait to tell you all about the awesome thing that happened to me last year. Completely random, but it changed my business completely. It was awesome.
Nice, completely random. Like elephants just came running through your house. I can't wait to hear about it. But before you do that, give everybody the highlight of who you are and what you do for business.
Yeah, thank you so much, Michelle. So, my name is Tiago Faria, if I want to say it my natural language. I'm from Lisbon, Portugal. So basically, I'm on the other side of the pond from you, where you are right now. And I'm basically a business mentor, and I help experts do the most fun marketing they'll ever do and attract the most pre-sold leads they'll ever get. So that's basically what I'm focusing on right now. And oh, by the way, I do it through podcast guesting. Okay, then we can have a chat about that during this interview.
Awesome. We will indeed. So, how did you get into podcast guesting as your thing?
Yeah, that's a fantastic way to start this interview. So I was for 5 years. When I started my business in 2019, I was creating a ton of content. I was basically on this hamster wheel of creating content, first on my blog, then on YouTube, then on Facebook, and I was exhausted by it at some point. Tired of looking at a blank page, started trying to be creative to create something from scratch, awkwardly looking at a camera, trying to be amazing, and it always felt a bit like a drudge, a bit like having to perform, and okay, now I'm active, now I need to do something awesome, and I need to share it on my social media. And it was taking a lot of time. I was starting to procrastinate, and it started to make me hate it. And basically, last year I burned out. I stopped doing it completely. I started recycling my old content. Okay, these are my best videos, my best posts. I'm just gonna reshare it. It worked for a bit, but then it stopped working. Because it's just people just get used to it and get tired of it. So things started to. I struggled to get leads. Started struggling to get more the sales that I was used to. I was having to push a lot of people like, okay, just buy something from me, DM and cold messaging, which made me hate even more. I was even having the wrong sales environment when people would come to my sales calls. It was not the best experience. So things were not, going smoothly. Wifey started getting worried because she quit her job last year at the same point. So we were like, oh, okay, so how is it's gonna get tight now. And I reached that valley of despair, that, okay, this is now rock bottom. I wanted to do something to grow the business, but I really could not go back to that hustle and grind of the hamster wheel of creating content and stuff like that. And yeah, unpredictability was the norm at the time. Financial roller coaster, starting every month from zero again. How can I have to do this all again? Couple of sleepless nights, worrying a bit what would happen. My wife even, okay, maybe we should find jobs, to make it a bit more stable and less worrying. But no, I just could not quit. And when we get into this adventure, right, Michelle, we just don't quit. It's not in our nature. There had to be a way. And
Jobs
then
are not an option. Quitting's an option, but jobs are not an option.
yeah, I realized very early on that I was psychologically unemployable after working for 8 years in a corporation. So no, impossible for me. But then the most amazing thing happened. I was about to go on holidays with my wife. We're going to Georgia here in Europe. And I received an email from one of my mentors. He was saying, okay, I have a new beta program open. It was totally aligned with me. There was no content creation associated, just good old networking and referrals. Okay, this might be something that I could, figure out on my own. Wifey agreed, maxed out credit cards to get into that program. Fully committed. We went on holidays. We enjoyed it. Come back. Okay, I'm going to do this for sure. Yeah, inside the program, my mentor said, okay, podcast guesting is quite an interesting way to start networking, basically to create your own referral program around this because you're creating relationships with hosts. So I went all in with it. And in 4 months, I booked 67 podcasts, which is an insane amount of work, of pitching, following up. I had a week where I did just like 7 interviews. It's yeah, you can imagine if
Yeah,
you
I
if you
can.
all the
Because
work you
I set
have.
a goal to be a guest on 100 shows in 1 year, and I had an assistant booking it all for me. So I
Exactly.
cannot imagine what that was like for you. No.
Yeah, but yeah, it was totally true what my mentor said. It's great for relationship, increasing your network with amazing hosts like
Super
yourself,
fun.
Michelle. It's a lot of potential for partnerships. But Michelle, you know what? The best thing that happened after with that experience?
What?
One of the hosts, after she sent me an email saying, "Okay, here's the interview, but here are also 5 reels that you can use from interesting parts of your interview." And I was like, "Oh my God, this is free content, seamlessly extracted from me through a normal conversation." And it's basically the dream marketing scenario, right?
Right?
Because I'm creating content, but just by talking to someone, I'm not looking at the camera, being artificially creating content. It was a conversation, and it's something that came out naturally, and it will resonate with the audience because they listen to my stories, etc. And it was also the dream marketing selling scenario because the right people will listen to me for 20 to 45 minutes. They get to know, like, and trust me, right? So it's completely different environment, right? Like almost like fans that would talk to you afterwards. But yeah, it was crazy. I made a ton of mistakes during that blitz. Learned a lot by testing, talking to a lot of hosts, and some of them coached me for free. Even there was this one lady that didn't take me on her podcast, but she said, "Yeah, can I give you a piece of feedback? You're just giving a lot of advice, and you're not positioning yourself as an expert. You don't have a framework." So I learned a ton of things of what actually works. But yeah, in the meantime, sorry, just to wrap up here,
Yeah.
I was also publishing all the interviews I was being published on my LinkedIn. And some people approached me and asked, "Tiago, what the hell? You're suddenly showing up everywhere, and can you show me how you're doing it?" And that gave me, okay, the marketing's telling me there must be a need here. And that then I shifted my business completely to give people this dream marketing and selling scenario. But yeah, because you don't have to create content, you're just having a conversation. Content is being extracted from you that you can repurpose. And my clients, of course, get the extra benefit of having dozens of reels created for them. And the dream selling scenario, because people are becoming fans, listening to your story, they see you in action for a long period of time. And yeah, this is exactly how I got here.
Nice. I love it. Well, and it is super cute because I had one lady reach out to me and well, because when you do, for those of you who don't know, when you do a podcast guesting, you will leave a link so that people can connect with you. So of course we had an opt-in, and at the end of the opt-in, they could book a 30-minute appointment with me to be able to go over their website audit. So she goes, "I can't believe I'm on this call with you. I was listening to you on a podcast and now I'm meeting with you." And I'm like, "Oh my God, you're so cute. I love you." And she's running this awesome business. It was super fun to be able to help her to be able to kind of strategically look at what she should be doing, kind of to be able to grow her business. So we had a ton of fun in that meeting. She got a ton of value out of, but it was super cute that it really is kind of this fanfare.
Kind of a fan. Yeah, there's like, oh my God, yeah, I just heard you for 45 minutes. This is so cool.
That was
Yeah, I
awesome.
love it.
Well, and I know that for me, hosting podcasts, well, not even hosting, hosting allowed me to be able to force conversations, right? I mean, I had control. I could invite anybody I wanted to. It's my party. I can invite anybody I want to the party. Whereas with hosting to me was, okay, now I have to find parties to go to. Two very different aspects and two very different outcomes. But for me, that conversation kept me sane during the lockdown because being able to get out and meet people internationally. So being able to invite people from, Portugal to Sydney, Australia, and, I can do all of that in the span of 2 hours. It's awesome. I love it.
Yeah,
So what
I
was
love
your
it.
favorite part about guesting?
I think it's exactly that. For me, is the meeting amazing people from across the globe. How I was having, and I had a day that I have an interviewing from a person from Canada, and then later at the day I have from a person in Australia, and I simply love it. It's a cool way to create relationships with amazing people, to get to know like different business ideas, different ideas from our own areas, and also to create amazing partnerships. It's a very abundant way because everyone wins. The guest wins because he's basically exposing a bit more of his own expertise, right? Having
Yeah.
access to new audiences. The host wins because he has content being created for him, right? For free. The audience wins because two people talking with each other about a specific topic and adding a ton of value for their lives. And yeah, I absolutely love
Nice.
podcasting.
So let's get into kind of the back end and tech of things, and talk to me about kind of what difference it makes being able to take those snippets, those shorts, and being able to post those through social media and things like that.
Yeah, I think this is one of the most overlooked parts of when you're a podcast guest.
Mhm.
Most people kind of go on a podcast and then they just forget about it. They never talk with the host anymore. Just go on to the next one. It happens a lot of times, and that's a huge mistake because this is the time from when you're booked until it's published is probably the most profitable time because you can. For example, what I'm going to ask for you, Michelle, is that please send me the raw video footage of this interview so I can already start creating, the reels parts, interesting parts of the interview, and give you credit, of course, to Michelle. Show that I'm here to help you to promote the podcast. So basically, give a good value to everyone, and to feed my audience with amazing content from me, right? Like amazing, like me sharing my story, giving good pieces of advice that will help them out. And also, of course, this period of time is also a good idea for you to grow the relationship with the host, right? In like you're spending an hour with that person, but don't just forget about it. Keep in touch. Add her on LinkedIn, that person on LinkedIn. Send something valuable. Ask if how can you help the person, because you never know what can come out of it, right? The podcast host, as yourself, Michelle, you interviewed hundreds of people, right? Already, so you have a huge network of people that you could tell me, look, Tiago, maybe this is a good podcast for you, or maybe this person could help you out, or maybe this is a client for you. There's a lot of things that can come out of each interview that you do if you're strategic about it and you do it in an abundant way, adding value to everyone around you. I absolutely love it, and it's something that is basically it's the last step of my dream method framework. We can talk about it later on, which is the multiplication part. Yeah, leveraging everything out of one interview, create reels, create micro content, and then make sure you nurture your relationship with the host because that's the most overlooked thing and the most valuable.
Absolutely. Well, no, let's look into your, or should I say, yes, let's look at your framework, because I think it is important. I think people misunderstand. And one of my biggest kind of the soapbox that I'm on right now is do not just go out and post, what you ate for breakfast. I mean, if it's really fantastic and you want to promote the restaurant and go, hey, like this restaurant is amazing, great, go ahead and do that. But if you're doing it for the sake of doing it and posting cat pictures and things that have nothing to do with your business, people lose sight of that. And there's, I think, a happy medium between getting the content that they want from you and not in a salesy sort of way, but in a what are you all about kind of way. Let's have a real conversation. And to me, having a strategy behind your marketing as an entire company becomes paramount, because now you're streamlining all of your efforts into one system and one thread that everybody can attach to. And then you start playing tug of war with social media, but all of your team is on the same rope. And it just makes so much more sense to me. So yes, absolutely. Let's get into your framework and how that works, because I think it's super important for people to hear.
Awesome, Michelle. Thank you so much for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I call it the dream method because again, I help people get the dream marketing scenario, dream sales scenario. So in this, each of the letters of that acronym is basically one of the steps. So the first D for design is basically for you to work on to position yourself to be an amazing guest for both for the hosts and for the listeners. And why this is important is because most people, just like I did my podcast list, and I was doing this mistake specifically. I was just giving advice to on the interviews, just sharing about a bunch of information. But that doesn't make you stand out at all. So it's very important for us to have, first of all, the hook, something that stands out from the pack, basically something that makes you different. Having a proprietary framework, just like the one I'm sharing now, also helps to position you as an expert, someone that has their own unique thing, a unique mechanism, right? And also preparing the topics you want to talk during interviews. Maybe send suggested questions to the host, maybe to guide them. Sometimes it helps hosts because, oh my God, I have all the script here. I just have to follow this. That's awesome. And having your bio prepared, just to make you look a bit more professional, and share details about maybe your personal life, etc. Those are all very important things to prepare yourself to be an amazing guest, basically. And then we go to the second step, which is the refine stage. So to get confidence and clarity on your message, so it resonates with the target audience is super important. Because if you just share a bunch of facts about your life, it's not very interesting. People will get bored about it. It doesn't create a real connection with the listener. So it's important for you basically to organize, structure your origin story in a way that, okay, this person knows exactly how I'm feeling. I connect with her, what they went through, and it makes sense for me. And it's also very important for you to structure in a way that follows like the storytelling way that brings you from where you were before, what you did, what makes you different, how is it your life nowadays. So those are two very important stages in a prep stage for you to do this kind of podcast guesting. Then we go to the E stage, which is the engage. So this is exactly where you connect with the hosts in a way that attracts their attention. Okay, then it makes you stand out. Because I'm sure you receive a lot of pitches like this, Michelle. Like, here's me. I do this. I'm awesome. Want to have me on a podcast, please? Like those kind of approaches are kind of spammy, and hosts are
My
tired
favorite
of
are
it.
dear ma'am. And then there's 6 different
Oh,
fonts in the, in the file. It's like, okay, no.
no, please, no.
You got to be really interesting to be able to to have an
Exactly.
email like that be appealing to a host.
Yeah, but it's not about yourself. You should understand it's about the host and how can you help the hosts with their goals, right? To get more reach in their podcasts, create good content for their audience. So this is the part where you pitch yourself to the host, but in a way that's abundant, that shows that you care about what they care about. You have to listen to a couple episodes to get a notion of it. Maybe mention it that you listen to it. Show how you would add value to their own audience. And then, of course, follow up because people live busy lives full of distractions. I have countless times where hosts send me an email on my third email saying, "Oh, Tiago, thank you so much for following up. I actually meant to answer you on the first email." So
Definitely
follow up,
follow
follow up,
up on
follow
the
up.
emails.
Super
I can
important.
tell you, some people get 100 email a day. I think I get about 1,000, maybe 1,500. So definitely, those golden threads of straw get hidden in the hay bales. So
Exactly.
absolutely feel free
But
to,
don't spam, don't be
yeah, don't
annoying.
spam,
Just
but go, hey, just bring it to the top of the,
naturally.
and don't get mad at them. They don't respond.
Exactly.
Those are the, hey, if you can't be bothered to respond to me, don't ever say that to a host. Those get deleted so fast. Bye
That's not
bye.
abundant at all.
Yeah,
Not abundant at all. Please don't
yeah,
do that.
exactly. Abundance,
Uh,
happiness, and yep, all of that.
exactly. And then we go to the the A, which is attract. So this is where you position yourself to be magnetically and attract your dream clients, the listeners that will be on that podcast. So because it's pointless to just have a conversation with no logical next step, which I was doing all the time, was just, oh, it's a nice chat, and if you wanna do so, follow me on social media, no, something like that. So it's very important to have at the end of the interview most hosts asks, how can people know more about you, right? I hope you ask me that question, Michelle. So it's important to have a good call to action at the end. Share something with the audience that could be beneficial for them, useful for them, and that makes them the logical next step after they hear you on a podcast. So this is something kind of meta. Maybe I will show you how to do it at the end of this interview. And then finally, the last step is the multiply, which I already talked about. The question about leveraging everything out of one interview, creating assets, marketing assets, because most people forget, do interview, forget about it, and this is actually the most profitable period to leverage everything. Pre-interview, send post to your social media saying, I'm going to be interviewed by Michelle. It's going to be amazing. Always give credit to the host, nurture relationship with the hosts, and magic can happen.
Nice. That is indeed dream marketing. And to me, you're preaching to the choir. I think everybody should be doing this, or at least look at it as to how it might be able to help structure things, because your action at the end, I think, is paramount. And listeners, peeps, you know this. You listened to me, I don't know how many times. And at the end, somebody goes, oh, you can follow me on LinkedIn. You can do some stuff. And of course, doing some stuff hardly ever results in getting in front of that person and doing something. Whereas when you have an opt-in where somebody can opt into a thing where it's actually of interest to them, then, or to you, then you're much more likely to go and click on that link and go and interact, just like my raving fan did when we set up the strategy call. And that's really what you want to do, because those strategy calls, or whatever ends up happening with those people, I mean, if you're looking at how you do what you do, and then look at how can you do that in your business in order to be able to structure that. And to me, it doesn't matter if you're a business coach. It doesn't matter if you run a law firm. It doesn't matter if you have a manufacturing plant that produces 1-cent widgets and you spread them over the entire planet. You can still set up this structure to be able to set up your dream marketing, as long as you work with Tiago and do it the right way.
Exactly, that's true. And countless times I did that call to action. You say, follow me on social media. It absolutely doesn't work. Nothing happens out of it. Please don't do that kind of call to action.
Well, and I think you covered a lot of the frustrations that a lot of people have in their marketing when they feel like they're going through the motion. They feel like it's a drudgery to get up and set up a camera and set up the lights and set up the thing and do the thing that your team is asking you to do, and which is why nobody ever does it. But this is completely different, and I know you have a ton of successes with this. So in a moment, I'm going to ask you for a Cinderella story of one of your clients. But before we do that, we're going to take a quick break.
Are you running a business over 7 figures but still struggling with technology headaches? Pay attention, you do not want to miss this offer. This podcast episode is brought to you by Awareness Strategies, who is offering a custom-built digital adoption roadmap for anyone running a business over 7 figures who's wanting to grow their business in the next 5 years. And it's not just a roadmap, they offer full implementation as well if that scares the out of you. Check out awarenessstrategies.com/roadmap for more details today. The link's in the show's notes. Don't regret not doing this. Do it now. That's awarenessstrategies.com/roadmap.
So I am super excited. Share us an example of a Cinderella story of one of your clients.
Yeah, so I'm working with a client. He's called Ricardo. Cannot say I shouldn't share the whole name, but but basically it came to me because I wanted to get booked on podcast, of course. But during the prep stage, which I talked about the first 2 steps, I was extracting his information from him because I needed to pitch his services for podcast host. I noticed that he had the story more or less aligned, but he didn't have a concrete target audience, like who is his dream client, exactly who he's targeting. It was, I basically help everyone that want to change his career, and that is already a red alert for me, because it will make my life much harder to pitch to hosts and say, okay, this my client is going to add a ton of value to your audience because of X. And this is the big mistake that most people that I talk with, and please, the listener, if you considering doing podcast casting on your own, please do not try to target everyone at the same time. You're not going to capture the attention of anyone specifically. The ideal scenario is to, okay, I help this specific person solve this specific problem, And this is exactly how I help them through my specific proprietary framework, which is unique. Nobody else does it the same way. And now we're at the stage where Ricardo, okay, we have already his unique framework prepared. We know exactly who we're going to help. We have his origin story. And then my life is going to be super easy now to put him on podcasts. He's going to show up in 10 podcasts. He's going to be super prepared to do it in a way that attracts the right clients to his own world. Yeah, that's basically, I think, the biggest thing that will help you move the needle.
Nice. Well, and I think too, on this note, peeps, if you have everyone and anyone in your description of who you help, you really need to talk to Tiago, because one of the examples I use is Apple. Obviously, if you have fingers to hold a phone, even if you don't, you're still probably an Apple client. But it didn't always start that way. They started off as, if you are creative, if you need a lot of bandwidth, but you don't have the tech kind of behind you, those are our ideal audiences. So there are people that use a lot of bandwidth on a computer, but they don't have the techie background. That's where they started, which is why they started with very emotional commercials of colors and, are you a creative? Are you the Einsteins of the planet? Are you, and they attracted them, and they differentiated themselves from PC and IBM and all of the techie side of things. But now they can go on to everybody. And it's not to say that you can't do that, but it certainly makes Tiago's job a lot easier when you can identify, if you, I don't know, say you sell herbs, right? Anybody that's a human being can have herbs. But if you can identify who your target audience is, that also leads into your opt-in, which makes a very specific conversation that you're having with your host, and a very specific call to action at the end, which you can then change and alter when you do a different show. But it makes Tiago's job a lot easier to go and find all of the shows that are, specifically to one audience. So yeah, I'm loving this conversation. I could have this conversation forever, but you know me, I don't want to have this conversation forever. I want you to have it with Tiago. So Tiago, I know our listeners are going to want more from you. How did they start that journey with you?
Absolutely. Well, I set up a bunch of things that your listeners can get for free, because I know how hard it is to get booked on podcasts, to impress the host, to know exactly how to be an amazing guest, and you don't have to go on a crazy 67 podcast spree like I did to try to learn it the hard way. I already cracked the code, so I'm gonna share it with you so that you start doing it the right way at the get-go. So first, I'll give you free access to my Being an Amazing Guest worksheet that I use with my clients. If you complete that, which is the exact same worksheet I worked with my client Ricardo, you'll immediately position yourself as an attractive guest that stands out from the pack, and you become an easy yes for host. Okay, that's the first thing you can get. And I'm also going to share with you my origin story worksheet. Okay, so where you simply have to answer a few prompt questions and seamlessly craft your origin story in a way that actually will resonate with the listener, will keep their attention on you all the time, and generates a great amount of trust. And this is exactly where most people screw up, including me. I was never a true storyteller. I'm just a very robotic, do this, do that, giving a lot of advice. I have to work on it constantly. So if you're getting on good podcasts, and nothing is coming out of it, you're exactly messing on this point. Okay, storytelling is the goal, and the golden nugget that most people forget to do. You cannot just give a bunch of advice. That doesn't work. And finally, I'm going to share with you the email template that got me booked on 67 podcasts, right? And that received multiple answers from hosts saying that, oh my God, Tiago, I don't usually answer these emails, but I have to say this is one of the best I got. So because, as I said, it was an abundant way, I listened to the podcast, I showed the value I will add to it. And this will definitely make you stand out and get the hosts through
make
the
sure when you
host
fill
filters.
out the template that you make sure it's all in one font.
Yes, exactly. And so to get access to this, simply go to tiagofaria.pt/gift. So it's TIAGOFARIA.pt/gift. I can show you the link.
You went really
afterwards.
fast right there at the end.
Where's that?
TIAGOFARIA
dot PT
PT
PT for Portugal. Yeah.
There you go. /gift.
Yeah.
Awesome.
/gift.
We will, of course, have Tiago's link in the show notes. So go ahead and click on that link and open it up in a new browser, because we're not done yet. So, Tiago, I get to ask you, at what point in life did you know you were a special kind of crazy enough to think that you could become an entrepreneur?
It was I was working at Google, and I realized I cannot be this. I'm psychologically unemployable, and I need to follow my own path. And I started my adventure in 2018. I quit Google, came back to Portugal, and that's exactly how it all started. It was basically realizing that I was unfulfilled. I was not realizing my full potential, and I could not work anymore for anyone else.
And I even think, knowing for Google, we're going to have a conversation about this another time, because everybody's going, if I could have a job at Google, that would be perfect.
Exactly. Yes,
Right?
everyone was saying that, and I was like, oh, maybe I'm wrong. I don't know what I'm doing.
That's the nirvana of jobs. We still get stuck there. You know, you're an entrepreneur when somebody goes, but I'm going to have the perfect job. And I'm like, I'd rather kill myself, but thanks.
Exactly. Nobody understands me.
Except for entrepreneur. That's so awesome. Tiago, you've been absolutely awesome. Any last words for our peeps?
Yeah, I think just have fun with marketing. I think it's the goal here, and it's possible to do it. You don't have to be on the hustling, constantly on the grind of reels and stories. This is a much easier path, right? Just have chats, conversation with people, get content extracted from you while you're having fun, and then just leverage it all in multiple ways.
I love it. Thank you so much for your time, Tiago. I appreciate it, and I know how valuable it is.
Thank you, Michelle. It was a true pleasure.
So, peeps, this is Michelle Nedelec. Thank you for being here with us today. Be sure to subscribe to the show and share it with your friends. We love helping entrepreneurs grow.
Are you running a business over 7 figures but still struggling with technology headaches? Pay attention, you do not want to miss this offer. This podcast episode is brought to you by Awareness Strategies, who is offering a custom-built digital adoption roadmap for anyone running a business over 7 figures who's wanting to grow their business in the next 5 years. And it's not just a roadmap, they offer full implementation as well if that scares the out of you. Check out awarenessstrategies.com/roadmap for more details today. The link's in the show's notes. Don't regret not doing this. Do it now. That's awarenessstrategies.com/roadmap.